This is
Hi,
Barbara Lagoni. Barbara's going to talk about the cleaning products tonight, and this is my favorite subject. I mean, I'm into
well, you
nutrition,
stay
so
on. You keep your, because, you know,
I
um,
always stay on, Barb.
I mean, you stay open, your microphone open, because these products, everybody uses, and everyone has stories about them, but they are wonderful. I have been cleaning house with these products. They were the very first products I used in Shaklee, and I have been cleaning house with them for 38 years or something like that, and I
Gee,
can't imagine.
I thought you were only about 43 years old.
Right, all together. But
Wow.
I mean, this is my subject because, I grew up in Buffalo, and when I went to college, Lake Erie had died. All the fish had died. It was all overgrown with algae, and it was really a very low point in our country's history about how much we really neglected what we were doing to our to our earth and to our world. And so thank heavens, they're right in the middle of that. In 1956, Dr. Shaklee started the company that you heard Gary just talk about. And in 1960, he introduced the first biodegradable cleaner, so he was way ahead of his time. And so it was one of the things that attracted me to Shaklee, because I felt this was really a company with a conscience. So we want to walk you through some of this, and some of the slides, by the way, because I know many of you are sharing this information with others. And Earth Day is coming up on April 22nd. And so it's a great time of year for us just to pause and think a little bit about what we could do to be a little more environmentally friendly, to walk a little more lightly on the earth. And there's so many of these slides you can get right off of the Shaklee website. And this is a wonderful quote from Margaret Mead, the very famous anthropologist, who said, "We have to learn to cherish this earth and cherish it as something that is fragile, that's only one, it's all we have. We have to use our scientific knowledge to correct the dangers that have come from science and technology." And it was very serious. Just was watching, what is the movie of the about the environmental, I'll think of it in a minute, that where all the people were getting sick and the children were getting sick, and it's that funny woman's name. Anyway, I can't think of it right this instant, but it was just on this last weekend, and we were watching it again. It just reminded me there were many movies made around that time. Aaron Brockovich. I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. Aaron Brockovich, and there were so many movies made around that time because they were really real-life stories. Happened very near where I lived in Love Canal near Niagara Falls. So it's good for us to be reminded we have some pretty serious issues that have been connected to our toxic overload. 20 million Americans with asthma. An average of 1 out of every 13 school-age kids has asthma. Asthma rates in children under age 5 have increased more than 160% between 1980 and 1994. It's even higher now. Common household cleaners and appliances give off fumes, which we can potentially increase the risk of children developing asthma. And this is such an amazing quote. "We are conducting a vast toxicologic experiment in our society in which our children and our children's children are the experimental subject." Dr. Herbert Needleman from the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. So we just need to be aware that we are exposed to a tremendous amount of toxins. I was doing a webinar with Hannah Sharapan last week, and she was telling a story of a cancer researcher named Dr. Allison, who was doing research on laundry products, and was after people wore garments that were laundered in various different laundry products, the chemicals that were in the laundry products began to show up in their urine even within an hour after they were wearing them. So we need to be aware our skin can absorb anything that it comes in contact with. And so here's some information about some of the very typical household products that we have under our sink: chlorine bleach, the chemical most frequently involved in household poisonings. Degreasers contain petroleum distillates, which can damage lung tissues and dissolve fatty tissue around the nerves, and that's neurodegenerative illnesses. Glass cleaners contain ammonia typically that irritate the skin, the eyes, the respiratory system. Oven cleaners, one of the most dangerous cleaning products, causes severe damage to eyes, skin, mouth, throat, toilet bowl cleaners, and so on. And I just want you to be aware, especially those of you who may be new and maybe you don't know a lot about Shaklee, is that this company has the most amazing reputation for its concern and care for the environment and its leadership in it, starting in 1960 when Dr. Shaklee developed Basic H, the first biodegradable cleaner ever, and then Basic L shortly thereafter. These are cleaners that biodegraded, cleaned very well without phosphates. Some of you are old enough to remember Jacques Cousteau, who did some of the very early research on the ocean and helping us understand how important it is to appreciate the ocean and our whole ecological systems. Only used Shaklee cleaning products on the Calypso and his research vessels. Shaklee's been involved in planting trees, which I'm very proud. One of our leaders, Ellie Rogers, who's just had her 84th birthday, Gary, on Saturday, she was very instrumental in starting a program at Shaklee called A Million Trees Campaign. And through her efforts, over 1 million trees were planted in the United States and in Africa. Shaklee products were in the biosphere. They were part of the Arctic Ocean exploration that was done by Will Steger back in 1984 through 1996. Scary. They went by dog sled over the North Pole and went over these huge ice floes, and it was Shaklee products that kept them having enough energy to do this amazing physical activity. But more importantly, the measurements that they took in those expeditions were used as a benchmark to measure how much our polar ice caps are melting and being lost, and so on. So you'll see the headquarters of, when you walk in, there's just a wall of all the environmental awards that Shaklee has received. And in 2000, the year 2000, I'm very proud that Shaklee was the very first company ever to be certified as a climate neutral company, where they kept track of all their carbon dioxide emissions and then created offset projects to have a zero carbon footprint on the earth. It was a tremendous effort to do that, and something we're very proud of. So a company with a wonderful history, and so the Get Clean product line really represents everything that the environmentalists really urge us to do. They biodegrade, most of them within 30 days. They're non-toxic, they're safe, but they clean very well. And one of the nice things about them is they're also extremely economical. You may have noticed the PowerPoint bullet point on one of the earlier slides that one of Hannah's customers was doing her taxes, and she was just tracking her expenses, and she just added up for the heck of it what she had spent on cleaning products. In the entire year, it was something like $136. I mean, it's wonderful that people can save the earth and save a lot of money all at the same time. So let's look at the specifics here about the Shaklee products and all the things they don't contain. These chemicals that you see in front of us are very typically found in all kinds of cleaning products that are in people's homes, and they are extremely toxic. And I want you to know also that Shaklee is not only fastidious about the ingredients and the safety of their products within their cleaning products and also their nutritional products, but even the containers, the packaging that they use is also much safer and free of bisphenol A, which is a a carcinogen, a cancer-causing agent, and phthalates, which are also very commonly found in skincare and personal care products, which is a hormonal disruptor. You'll never find them in Shaklee products. So let's talk about some of the products now. Gary and Marilyn, I'm going to bring you in on some of these as well. Marilyn, maybe you want to tick through some of these bullet points and share any way that you use these products. And Gary, you chime in whenever you like.
Well, maybe we should start out with Basic H, since that's everyone's favorite.
Let me get to that.
Got the dishwash up there.
Yeah, I'm going to click these up real fast, and then let me go to the Basic H slides, because these were some comparisons that were done to cleaning products that are on the market, some that claim to be green cleaners and others that are just well known, but you can see how these products outperform them. There we go. There's your Basic H. Okay, go.
All right. Basic H is one of my favorites because it really does clean the whole house from windows, and they have nice spray bottles so you can make a window cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner, and degreaser. And you know how many amounts of garbage everybody has, and so less bottles, like the window cleaner. I have it. It's 5,000 bottles.
I know. Of Windex.
One little bottle, makes 5,000 bottles of Windex. And so it's very cost effective, 1 penny. And today, because we're having a lot of rain, so I went and used Basic H out in my garden and my flower beds and things like that, because the concept of Basic H is that it makes water wetter. And so I love to also use it outside. I just don't keep it in my house. I use it with taking care of bugs. I use it on rose bushes. I use it on a lot of things outside in the garden. And I know there are people that use it, in their fields and things like that, because bugs don't like Basic H.
So great. And we probably should mention, Marilyn, that you are a master gardener, and so and you're all organic, so you're very careful about what you use.
Yes.
Basic H is made from corn and coconuts.
Correct.
And it probably does about 90% of the cleaning jobs in the house. It's just a remarkable product, so you can see how versatile it is. So when you first get that, you buy it along with these this set of 3 bottles, fill them each with water, and then you just put a 1/4 teaspoon in one and 2 drops in the one for windows, and then 1.5 teaspoons in the degreaser, and you're off and running. So you can see how economical.
And it's great for washing all our fruits and vegetables.
Good point.
You'd be surprised what comes off of your spinach and grapes and things like that. So just like filling your sink, and all you need is like a 1/4 of a teaspoon, and you can rinse all your vegetables before they even go into your refrigerator. Then they're ready for you to eat. Yeah.
Very good.
And
let's
lots of money you can save with that.
And it's gentle on your hands. I mean, it's just a wonderful product. So let's talk about a few of the products now. We'll start with Nature Bright. And I actually made a couple of slides on Nature Bright, just lifting off of the Shaklee website. There are product sheets on each of these products. I want you to see the detail of all the information that they give you. But Marilyn, tell us about how you.
I have a customer that buys vintage linens, tablecloths, fabrics, and sometimes they have really bad tea stains and things like that have been on for 100 years, and she'll soak them. Sometimes she's got to soak them a month, she says, but she says it's amazing that Nature Bright takes out all of this and doesn't harm the fabric, because then she makes jackets and handbags and all of that kind of stuff out of things. But it's really wonderful if you have little ones, and from baseball uniforms to bad food stains and things like that. It gets out everything.
And who came up with the idea to have little people playing baseball wear white pants?
I know.
It's like crazy.
I know. And what's so funny is last weekend when we were at the regional meeting, and I stayed at the hotel, and you get your linen, you climb into bed, and all I can do is smell the bleach of these white sheets. And, which, sometimes people are so sensitive to fragrant things or a smell. And so what's wonderful about Nature Bright, you don't have the smell of anything.
Things are just clean. That's right. And much safer than chlorine.
And you can use it in your toilet cleaning if you've got a ring from water, depending on where your water is coming from. So, there's a lot of things that you can use this Nature Bright for.
Excellent. And it lasts for months and months, right?
And what's nice is there's a little scooper in there. So that's what you need to use,
Yeah,
so,
an eighth of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons in a whole wash load.
Right. And
then
I might
mention just before we leave Nature Bright is that Shaklee, because you don't want to have a lot of additives in your laundry products, because it not only makes them more expensive, but it adds more chemicals for the earth to break down. And so that's why they make Nature Bright separately, because you don't need white and dark colored clothing. And so it's used for colored clothing and light and white colored clothing. And it is really fantastic how it works on even white socks and that sort of thing. And so fresh laundry, go ahead, Marilyn.
Yeah, we have fragrant-free and fragrance, and they work in your HE machines or standard washing machines. Boy, just a little capful does your laundry. So you can, it's amazing. And you think, oh, I'll never get any suds with this little capful, but you do get suds, and everything washes beautiful and rinses, no residue, no allergies.
Excellent.
Because,
and I might
our
mention,
skin does absorb whatever, like that study.
I might mention there was a few years back, Shaklee was going to make a pre-spotting product for the laundry, and they sent it to an independent lab, and when they do that, they always have to have a control. So there's one garment that is first pre-sprayed with something to try to treat a spot, and then goes in the laundry, and the other one just goes in the laundry. And when they got done, they had used this fresh laundry product you see in front of you for the control, and the lab told Shaklee, they said, save your money. Whatever that stuff was you gave us for the control is one of the best stain removers we have tested in the lab, and it was this fresh laundry. So you can put it directly on stains or collars that get soiled, or you can put it right into the water, and it's 1 ounce. That's a coffee scoop for a whole wash load, and it also comes in powdered form too. Okay, let's talk about the dishwash.
Well, the dishwash, there's a little tiny scooper that's in this bag, and that's what you need to use. It's a very, very little. It's not filling the compartments that are in your dishwashing machine. So it lasts a long, long time. And there's no phosphates in it, and it doesn't leave any residue on the dishes. So I think there's been a clinical study about residue left on dishes and how that is cancer causing or something like that. So It's really a great, great product.
And and I remember when that came out, all the environmental magazines were doing a write-up about it, because even still today, it is very difficult to find a dishwash product that doesn't have phosphates in it. And it's interesting, if you think about the products that we have in our kitchens, the product, many of the poisoning calls into poison control are from the automatic dishwash powders and the liquids. And Shaklee, while all of the products are non-toxic, they are particularly careful about these two products because they're going to be washing things that food is going to be on. So these are particularly safe. And here's the liquid, which is concentrated. It lasts 1,000,000 years. You just have to train the people in your house to use it by the drop. And if they're not trainable, then just keep the empty container after you use your first one and dilute it a lot, and it will last months. And we make most of all of our food at home. We don't eat out a lot, and so I use the kitchen a lot, and it is just amazingly economical, but it doesn't disintegrate your hands. It's a wonderful product.
Yeah,
cuts grease really well. It's really good. Okay, Marilyn.
Well, and if you have one of those things in your sink dispenser, fill that, 3/4 of water, and then add your
the
dishwash
soap
in
dispensers. Good point. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, let's talk about fabric softeners.
Fabric softener, they're one of my favorite because they're fragrant free. So it's great to throw in the dryer, and it softens your clothes and no static cling and helps with wrinkles. And then it is biodegradable and recyclable, so you can take that and put it in your recyclable bin. And
it's made from vegetables.
Yes.
I just love it. It's a great product. And Jo Coogan was telling me she cuts them in half because they work. They're so effective. But some people like a liquid, and so here's our liquid.
Yeah, and the liquid has a little fragrance, so it's nice to have that in your towels, and it makes your clothes smell good, and it's also HE compatible because a lot of people have those machines, and non-toxic, and this big bottle really should last a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm. So you can either use a dispenser in your washing machine, or what I often do is I dilute it in a spray bottle, and I spritz it on my lump of wet clothes when I put them in the dryer.
Right, which is really a nice way of doing it. Yes.
Good. And
here
comes
Scour Off is really, it's made from cherry pits, and it smells so good while you're doing from cleaning your oven to your cooktops to really tough jobs if you got shower stalls and grills and all of that kind of thing. It really is and this container lasts a long time, and I think if you rub a little, you need to add some water to it to get it working, and it really is super for washing pots and pans and anything that you need to have something really tough. And you don't have to put rubber gloves on and a mask
exactly.
And,
so ovens, right? So you can use it in the kitchen. And it has a bit of a grit to it, so it's great for cooktops and people with ceramic cooktops especially, and for the oven. But you also can use it in the bathroom because people who are still using bar soap, they get soap scum on the tiles, and you clean it one time with Scour Off, and then begin showering with the Shaklee shower products, either the hand and body wash or the shower gel, which is really a nice product. And you will never have to clean your bathtub or shower stall ever again.
Right.
And interesting, I live in a 100-year-old house, and when we moved in this house 20-some years ago, the drains were very slow draining, and over time, using all biodegradable cleaning products, the drains just got better and better and better. So
and it's good.
Well, there's additional savings from using all these products to what it saves you on plumbing problems and just on the wear and tear on your machines. Washing machines and dryers and dishwashers last much longer using these products.
Right.
Okay.
And we have septic living out in the country, and so I know that the Shaklee products are safe for
Excellent.
that.
And we have a 2-year-old grandson who is into drawing with crayons. And I am and the kids are just selling their house, and of course, little kids, they don't know the difference between paper, the desktop, and the walls and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go there, I remove the crayon. It comes off in an instant, in a flash, and when nothing else works for it, it's just an excellent product. So you can purchase any of the products individually, but you can also get them in a Get Clean starter kit. And look at all the things you get in the starter kit. So there's things for the kitchen, things for the laundry, things for the bathroom, and so economical. And when you purchase it, that starter kit, look at all the products that it replaces. Just one starter kit. And plus all of the bottles that don't end up going into the landfill. So, switching to the Get Clean products is an easy thing to do. It saves you money, but it's really a wonderful thing that you do for the earth. And so I always set a goal every year around Earth Day to share this with 50 families. And look at just with the Get Clean starter kit alone, it eliminates 108 pounds of packaging waste that otherwise would be landing in a landfill, and it eliminates 248 pounds of the greenhouse gases. I also want to mention before we leave, the Get Clean water is a wonderful product. And I was just looking over some of them. There's a very nice PowerPoint on the Shaklee website about about water and the concerns about what is in tap water. I really don't recommend ever drinking tap water. But bottled water is really not
much better.
It's not. It said that bottled water is hundreds to thousands times more expensive than tap water, but which is what you can use when you put it through the filtering pitcher. But it said that 1.5 million barrels of oil are used in the production of bottled water every year. Mm-hmm. That is a tremendous number, enough to fuel 50,000 cars per year. Jiminy. And over 1 million tons of packaging waste come from bottled water alone. Only a third of bottled water bottles are recycled. I was surprised to hear that. And just because it comes out of a bottle does not mean it is necessarily contaminant-free. And one of the studies that was done by the Environmental Working Group found 10 popular brands had at least 38 contaminants in them. And so here is this lovely picture, and it's so economical. Has multiple patents on it. It's certified to reduce lead, whereas Brita and Pure pitchers are not. It's certified to filter 80 gallons of water, whereas Brita and Pure only filter 40. It's the first pitcher with a refillable carbon block filter, again, because it's less plastic going into the landfills, and it is so inexpensive. So it costs only pennies a gallon, 80 gallons per filter, and I think a filter is replacement is about $19, Marilyn, something like that. So it's very inexpensive. And look at all the stuff it takes out. It takes out heavy metals, disinfectant products, industrial pollutants. So it's a wonderful product. So it's a really nice gift if you give gifts around Earth Day. It's a great gift. It's a really nice gift to give people when if they're hosting a party for you. If they're giving you referrals, it's a very nice gift. And so,
and what's nice too, Barb, is that filter, the Get Clean filter, fits in the competitors.
Filters as well. That's right. If someone's already bought a Brita filter,
right,
they can put it in there. Very good. Excellent. So let's have a clean for all. This came up in one of the Shaklee slides. Get educated, get rid of the hazardous chemicals, and get clean. And there we are. So to get, all working together, one of the other great quotes from Margaret Mead is that never doubt that a small group of people can make a difference and change the world. And then she says, indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So I always think about all of us folks who are in Shaklee, each of us, telling 50 families this Earth Day about these products. It's like, what's not to like? Some people get them because they care about the environment, and some get them because they want to have a safer home for their families and their children and their pets, and some get them because they really like products that clean really well. And so whatever your reason is, it works for everybody, and that's just a wonderful product line. And so, Uncle Gary, with that, it's a wrap.
Okie doke. There's one question here. What concentration of basic H2 do you use for gardening, bugs, etc.? From Monica.
It's like the window spray, isn't it, Marilyn? The glass and window spray?
Yeah, or like I fill a bucket. What I do is, if you have an ortho attachment, go on your hose.
On the hose,
Yes, and I fill it with water and put about a tablespoon in it. And you want to do this always on cloudy days. Don't use Basic H outside on sunshiny days. Because it will burn the plants. So that's why you want to. And
but that's not just a Basic H. That's water, and even watering your plants.
Right, exactly. And so, or an evening, close to dusk is a good time. And you can do that same formula like on your apple trees and things like that we can get bugs and things like that.
And the reason is that bugs have an oil on their backs, and Basic H emulsifies the oil and drowns them. So if you're around, when we get to mosquito season, you can just go out. If you see a swarm of mosquitoes on your screen, if you want to go out the door and you see all the mosquitoes just waiting for you, you can just spritz the screen and they'll all just drown. They just die. And I spritz the dogs, before they go out in mosquito season, because mosquitoes, can carry the heartworm problem for dogs, and so it's a much safer thing to do. I bathe the dogs in Basic H, and it drowns the fleas.
Me too.
So it's just much safer to use.
Okay, I'll just say one thing, that if you want to find a prospect, what I did, I won't go and tell my stories here now, but one question I asked my sister, and I learned to ask other people because she responds so positively so many times. I just asked her, is there anything you can't get clean? That was that simple. You'd be surprised at what people can't get clean. We don't have to know the ingredients to ask that question, because I still don't know. But when I think back, I used to call my sister. I said, I'm coming over for a cup of coffee. It got to the point where she'd invite her neighbors over. She said, he's coming again. That's true. That's true. And if someone would bring a piece of clothing and get a spot out, and we'd sit there and they say, well, what else can't you clean? So anyway, very good. Thank you so much, Marilyn. We appreciate your contribution. That's great stuff. And thanks for coming on, folks. Oh, wait. There's one more thing here. One proof of Basic H is removing. Oh, yeah, I know what she's going to say. Gum from hair or carpet.
We should mention that.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. If your little kids ever get gum in their hair.
Yep. Thanks, Richard.
And one time, one of my kids spilled rubber cement on the rug, and just use it full strength. That just lifts it right out of the hair, lifts it out of the rug. It was. Thank you, Richard. That was a great addition.
Okay. Thanks, folks, for coming on. Next week, same time, bring someone with you. You're growing. If you come alone, you're learning. Either way is good, but That's
We're going to talk about prenatal nutrition next week, too, with Dr. Cheney and I.
Yeah, good. It'll be good, as usual. We thank you very much, Barbara and Marilyn. So anyway, good night, folks. Have a great week.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
The organizer has ended the session, and